Ms. Smythe and Board of Directors, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate the opportunity to present our findings and provide you with our recommendations. We've enjoyed the chance to become familiar with the business structure and the desired growth of New Ballet and look forward to seeing the future development. Now please allow me to introduce my team members of our consulting team. First, Mr. Vince Carr. Vince is a senior customs specialist for FedEx Express and currently pursuing his MBA at the University of Memphis. Mr. Scott Keller. Scott is a veteran of the motion picture industry and currently pursuing his MBA at the University of Memphis. Mr. John Romer. John currently works as a financial analyst for ServiceMaster here in Memphis and is pursuing his MBA and Master's in Biomedical Management at the University of Memphis. Mr. Chad Wilgenbush. Chad is graduating this semester with his JD MBA from the University of Memphis. And I'm Randall Timchek. I'm working as a worldwide international sales executive for FedEx Corporation and am pursuing my MBA at the University of Memphis. In developing our presentation, we have created an outline to cover three main areas, which include objectives, obstacles, and actions. Throughout the course of this presentation, we will walk you through each one of these areas, explain what it encompasses, and how our observations of New Ballet and its goals relate to that area. First, we will discuss what objectives we have developed for New Ballet. We will focus on differentiating New Ballet from other dance schools. We believe it is important to differentiate New Ballet. The competitive landscape consists of Ballet Memphis, Ballet on Wheels School and Company, Memphis Black Arts Alliance, and Millington School of Dance. Each of these schools are competing for share of wallet in the Memphis area, and thus we must make corporate and individual donors aware of the value that comes from giving to New Ballet. This means focusing on what makes New Ballet stand out and what makes them different. We will also rebrand New Ballet. This objective is what will help differentiate New Ballet in the Memphis market. Currently, we feel that New Ballet, although it has laudable goals, needs to align these goals through logo development as well as aligning with global initiatives to take advantage of the corporate community through CSR initiatives. We want to increase visibility and awareness in the local and national philanthropic communities. New Ballet took wonderful steps with the Today Show. However, we feel that with global branding, New Ballet can continue to grow and become recognized on a much larger scale. We will also increase corporate and individual donations by 50% in 2 years. By setting benchmarks, we are able to give a direction and meaning to the strategy, as well as quantifiable elements. In our discussions with Ms. Smythe, this appears to be the main focus of New Ballet at the current time, and therefore we believe it necessary to set a tangible goal. We want to develop a marketing portfolio to use in sales pitches. In keeping with the brand effort that we feel necessary for New Ballet to make, developing a marketing portfolio will be the key deliverable to selling this brand. These deliverables should be customizable and customer-centric, to focus on charitable goals and objectives of the specific donors. Finally, we want to rework the website to support flow of information and ease of use. By utilizing this step, we plan to encourage New Ballet to embrace the social media outlets and the digital culture available to them. We believe it is through this medium that New Ballet can reach their largest client base with creative and innovative marketing, yet budget-minded. On the way to achieving these objectives, there are several obstacles that will stand in the way of New Ballet. These obstacles are gaining a single cohesive vision of New Ballet shared by all insiders of the organization. We believe that New Ballet currently lacks a single focus. Although the goals of New Ballet, as we said, are laudable, there's a lot going on at New Ballet, and this makes it hard to stay focused on the necessary elements of success. With the recommendations throughout our deliverable, we feel it necessary to engage in internal meetings to align all internal participants and their goals to share a common focus. We also feel necessary to have a clear implementation plan and timeline. It is necessary for New Ballet to bring a timeline and plan on board. Oftentimes it is the implementation plan which can set the best goals awry. By developing an internal plan and strategy, New Ballet can help everyone on board and create benchmarks against which to judge their internal success. The competition is currently more well-known and respected in the corporate giving marketplace. New Ballet is competing against many other dance organizations in Memphis. First, Ballet Memphis. They market themselves as the preeminent ballet company in Memphis through three key words: passion, power, and performance. The relationship with their donors is fully entrenched as they inform their contributors that their gift will reach over 75,000 people annually, including 15,000 underprivileged youth for whom they perform. Ballet on Wheels School and Company differentiates themselves as the first nonprofit pre-professional African-American ballet school and dance company in Memphis. They do not share New Ballet's philosophy of making professional and collegiate dancers out of its patrons, but rather teach them dance to positively impact their lives and self-development MBAA is focused on the heritage-based aspect of dance and community development. The level of training is not on par with New Ballet or Ballet Memphis, but they focus on a niche audience aligned with their goals. It is these groups and their singular focus which makes it most difficult for New Ballet to reach the level of corporate donations they desire. As we know, the current economic climate is difficult. This obstacle is fairly obvious to everyone in this room. The first thing which many people must cut from their spending and budgets is corporate giving. Although in time this will turn around, New Ballet is now competing for a smaller share of wallet. Finally, corporate and community perceptions of the arts in Memphis. The Memphis arts community is all about Arts Memphis. Donors are hesitant to give outside of Arts Memphis because they perceive them to be the singular arts group in Memphis. This is what we are looking to change through our marketing strategy. Now we're going to present you with what actions we suggest that New Ballet take to achieve the objectives and overcome the obstacles we have outlined. First, we must develop a single mission statement and differentiate New Ballet by telling Lydia's story, the life cycle. We witnessed Miss Smythe's passion when telling the story and believe this life cycle should be the face of New Ballet because it tells a story. When soliciting donations, New Ballet needs to be able to make a personal connection with each and every donor, and Lydia's story is that connection. We also want to use current ideas to create a new logo and enhance the new of New Ballet. New Ballet is something different in Memphis. They are a global dance company which builds upon the talents of dancers like Lydia, through a new logo which emphasizes the life cycle story and refocusing on the new of New Ballet. New Ballet will set themselves apart and create a single mission by which they will differentiate themselves and a story with which donors can connect. We want to disseminate new mission statements through social media avenues and enhanced website. By using social media such as Facebook and Twitter, New Ballet can bring their life cycle story to the Memphis community and beyond. We suggest that New Ballet integrate the success stories of their past dancers to make the story real for their audience. By using real-life testimonials, donors can see firsthand that their donations make a real difference, helping to further the success of the life cycle developed by New Ballet. We also will target specific donors and align with their corporate social responsibility initiatives. The life cycle plan of New Ballet has great potential for aligning with the CSR of many corporations. It is the development of the entire person from start to finish which will be attractive to companies who have a CSR for bettering the whole individual, as many do. Also, with the global perspective that many corporations take in their CSR plans, such helping to develop the economies of emerging markets, New Ballet can use that as a springboard to discuss their global focus. New Ballet is bringing a global perspective into the classroom that is unparalleled in the Memphis arts community. By tying the life cycle and global exposure of New Ballet to the corporate CSRs of potential donors, New Ballet will make a real connection with these donors. We also want to develop a marketing portfolio focused on incorporating and enhancing testimonial visibility, i.e. Lydia's story. As stated before, we believe that the life cycle or Lydia's story are what sets New Ballet apart from other dance schools in Memphis. The marketing portfolio that is presented to donors must highlight this life cycle. We suggest bringing Lydia's story to life through photos, testimonials, and graphical descriptions of the life cycle. The life cycle may be a concept with which donors are unfamiliar, but we feel that bringing it to life and presenting it to donors in a tangible form will help donors see the true vision of New Ballet, much as it did for us when meeting Mrs. Smythe. We also want to hire and or receive donated services for website development teams to make the website easier to use and better to disseminate information of New Ballet. The website and other social media are often the first contact donors will have with New Ballet. It is important that these donors be able to grasp the vision of New Ballet through an easy-to-use, streamlined website. One recommendation is that New Ballet approaches local universities, such as was done with this class, to receive input from young creative individuals with incredible talents in these areas. We would like to thank you for this opportunity for our team to provide a strategy that will ensure that New Ballet grows and flourishes in the future.